Hi, I'm Jimmy. Welcome to what I refer to as the first real video that we're creating for our channel, Restoration Vacations. And I call this our first real video. This is actually the third. The first two videos that I put together were actually walkthroughs of our vacation rentals. The first one was our house in Florida, and the second video was our cabins up here in the North Georgia mountains in Blairsville. Me and my wife Suzanne decided last year that we wanted to get into the vacation rental business. We have some friends over in Helen who have vacation rentals, and it sounded like a good idea. So here we are. And one of our ideas was to create a YouTube channel to not only advertise for our vacation rentals and create some draw, but also to expand on that and create some YouTube videos that told people about what there is to find in the North Georgia mountains in Blairsville, and also on the east coast of Florida, where our house in Florida is located. So we kind of refer to this as the Restoration Vacation Mountaintop and Beachside Adventure channel. Being as we're here in Blairsville in the North Georgia mountains, I wanted to start this video off by telling people about the area, particularly about the immediate area around where our cabins are located. Because some people have expressed concerns about bears and snakes, poison ivy, poison oak, things that could potentially hurt you. But I also want to include in this video some of the other foliage in the area, like our apple trees and our blueberry bushes and things of that nature. So to start this video off, I want to talk about some of the plants and whatnot that can be potentially harmful, more annoying than harmful, like poison ivy and poison oak. I discovered the hard way that there's a lot of that stuff up here. As we came up here and we started to clear out a lot of the brush and whatnot, the overgrown foliage, I discovered a really uncomfortable and painful rash that began to develop on my legs and on my arms. I actually had to go to the doctor and get a steroid shot to treat these problems. But we'll look at some poison ivy, we'll look at some poison oak. I think I know what poison sumac looks like. I'm not quite sure, but there are some general rules of thumb to avoid certain plants that could be those toxic ones, and I'll share those with you as we point them out. So we're going to start off right now by looking at poison ivy and poison oak, because I'm almost 100% certain that I know what those look like. So down here in this brush, I'm going to point the camera towards some poison ivy. And it's that little plant right there with those 3 leaves. Now, people have told me to be able to identify this more accurately is that it's not just a plant with 3 leaves, but as you notice, the edges of the leaves are not symmetrical, meaning that they're not the same. One side's smooth and the other side's kind of jagged, and you can see that on this leaf and on this leaf as well. So I can say with 99% certainty that that is poison ivy. I'm not going to touch it to test my theory. I'm just going to go along with it. And because of that uncertainty, the rule of thumb again is that if you see a plant with 3 leaves, just go ahead and stay away from it, because it could be poison ivy. And the little ditty that they say is a leaf of 3, let it be. Now, climbing up on this tree over here, we have, again, what I am 99% certain is poison oak. You can see the 5 leaves on it. And one of the characteristics of this is this big, thick vine that you see climbing up this tree. And it kind of looks furry. And you can see there's a place where I cut it to try and kill this poison oak. But the saying for this is, a furry vine is no friend of mine. And you can see this goes all the way up that tree. And there's a lot of stuff in this area. Now, as far as poison sumac is concerned, I don't know exactly what it looks like. I do know from looking at pictures on the internet that that it kind of grows up on a stem and has the leaves coming off of it. And so here's my rule of thumb right here. If I see something that looks like this, where it's got a stem and it's got these leaves, I just stay away from it. Now, the poison sumac, from what I've seen in the videos, can have little berries growing off the top of it, and the stem is typically, again, from what I've seen, a brownish color. But we have our rules. If it's on a stem like this and it's got those leaves on it, particularly the berries, that's the stuff we stay away from. And as you can see here, I've already cleared out this batch of area quite a bit, because this is where we're going to be putting a playground for kids. But you can still see that it's pretty heavily covered with a lot of foliage, a lot of poison ivy, a lot of poison oak, and possibly poison sumac. Now, I've also done a little bit of research because we have doggies and they like to run around in the grass, and in the backyard that we have up there, there's all kinds of stuff still growing that I still have yet to clean out. But I was worried about the dogs coming into contact with poison ivy. And the things that I've discovered is that they say it's very unlikely for a dog to get poison ivy or poison oak or poison sumac because of their fur. Because of their fur, it kind of creates a barrier away from their skin so that the oils from the plant can't actually get on their skin and cause a problem. However, if the dog gets it on its fur and then comes in and wants to snuggle with you, you've now come in contact with those oils and you are going to get poison ivy, poison oak, or poison sumac. So watch out for that. So I think it goes without saying that the best way to deal with poison ivy and poison oak is to not have to deal with it at all. And we talked about that earlier, about avoiding those areas where poison ivy and poison oak and poison sumac might be. If, however, you do find yourself having gotten into it, my wife got for me this soap. It's called Technu. It's this stuff right here. And what this is it is supposed to get all these oils off of your skin if you've gotten into the plant. Now, I'm told that you need to use it right away, because I think that if you use it once you start noticing symptoms, it's probably too late because it's already soaked into your skin and gotten into your body. So if you've gotten into it, optimally being aware that you've gotten into it, you can use this pretty quickly to wash that stuff off of your skin and then not have to deal with the rash and the itching and all the problems that come with it, because it takes about 4 to 6 weeks, I've been told, for the oils to get out of your skin and to stop itching. And from what I've experienced, that's just about right. So if you have gotten into it and you're beyond using this soap to get it off of you, and here it says you can get it out of your clothes and off of your pets as well, because we did talk about it getting under the animals and stuff. But if you've gotten into it and it's beyond using the soap, this stuff right here called Ivarest, and I am in no way being compensated for advertising these products on here, I'm just using them because I think they're good. But this Ivarest right here is the best thing that I have found so far to help alleviate the itch. Even the cream that the doctor gave me to help alleviate the itch did not work as good as this stuff right here. So Ivarest, if you're watching, I wouldn't mind a little kickback. Just saying. Anyway, again, the best way to deal with poison ivy and poison oak and those plants is to not have to deal with them at all. Again, stay out of the woods, stay on the cleared paths, avoid the plants that we had talked about, using the little the simple recognition of the plants, the 3 leaves, the furry vine growing on a stem. So yeah, again, the best way is to not have to deal with them at all, so that you don't end up having to use these products. One of the other big concerns up here in the North Georgia mountains that people have expressed are bears, particularly bears. And there's also snakes and spiders and things of that nature. Now, again, my wife and I got into this vacation rental business last year, and the person that we bought this property from told us that in the 20 years that they've lived here, they've never ever seen a bear. Now, I told you earlier about my friends in Helen who have vacation rentals. They'll see a bear from time to time, but they're way over on the other side of the mountain. So I'm not quite sure if the mountain's a barrier for the bears or whatnot, or if there's just enough activity in this area that keeps them away. We also have plenty of deer, which are cute and fun to look at. There's actually lots and lots of deer out here. But back to the animals of concern, like snakes and such. I have yet to see a snake out here. Up in the North Georgia mountains, your common poisonous snakes are going to be the copperhead, the timber rattlesnake, probably other couple little poisonous ones that are common in Florida, like coral snakes and whatnot. A lot of times there are just some yard snakes, some grass snakes and some water snakes, and I don't know the various types of species that exist with the snakes. I've just learned how to identify poisonous ones from non-poisonous ones. So again, haven't seen any snakes up here yet, and I say yet because it's certainly inclined to happen. We are in the woods up here in the mountains. One place where it's much more likely to see a snake would be somewhere in creeks and in rivers and whatnot. They tend to like the waters underneath dead logs and things like that. So my recommendation would be, if you do want to visit a creek or a stream, keep your eyes out. You don't know what could be out there. And just watch out for snakes. And if you're out into the woods, not only are you going to be looking out for poison ivy and poison oak, but the snakes can camouflage pretty well. So with that in mind, my recommendation is that if you're up here would be to stay on clear trails, not to venture out into the woods, not only to avoid the snakes, but again, the poison ivy and the poison oak and poison sumac, and just keep yourself safe that way. When you do come to Restoration Retreat and stay with us, there are some pleasant things growing around here. Like right here behind me, you can see these bushes. We've trimmed them up, but these are blueberry bushes. And then this little row of bushes right here are actually our blackberry bushes. So when they're in season and you come out here, you can pick all you want. Fill a big old basket of them if you like. Something else that we have that you might be interested in filling a bucket full of are apples. We have about 12 apple trees here, and again, we've only lived here for about a year. So I've been told that the apples on these trees are all different types, all different kinds. And if you look here on these trees, you can see that we do have apples in their early stages of growth. And as I step back here, you can see our little orchard of apple trees. And the one leaning down over there on the end got hit by a car, but it's actually still going to produce some fruit. You can see all the green leaves all over it. So I myself am excited to see what these trees are going to produce, and they produce a lot. Towards the end of the year last year, the owner went ahead and picked the last of the crop off the trees for themselves, and that was quite fine with me. I didn't have time to pick them off myself anyhow. But when you come out here and you stay with us at Restoration Retreat, you can pick all the apples that you want. And something nice as well is that the deer like apple too. So if you get out here in the morning, you might actually catch some deer picking off some of the low-hanging fruit off of these trees for breakfast. And they'll actually eat them at any time of day. They love apples. So this is pretty much a wrap of our first video, our third video, but the first two videos were walkthroughs of our house and our cabins. So I actually count this as our first video, our inaugural run into our library of YouTube videos. So if you would, just like everybody says, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And our mountaintop and beachside adventures are going to be visiting places in these areas that are really fun and neat to visit. We're going to be visiting the top of Brasstown Bald Mountain, which is the tallest mountain in Georgia. We're going to be visiting places to go kayaking and canoeing in Florida. We're going to be doing some beachside adventures. We're going to be looking at Cocoa Beach helicopter tours down in Cocoa Beach, the beaches in New Smyrna and Daytona, the amazing places to eat, and just the incredible attractions. We pretty much have an endless supply of content for our YouTube library to come. So visit us at myrestorationvacation.com to book with us, and we hope to see you soon. Book your next getaway at Restoration Retreat. You can visit us online at myrestorationvacation.com or call us at 800-309-5076.